My last Q&A video got a lot more views than I thought it would, and it seemed to get a lot of positive feedback as well, even though all I did was talk about myself for 30 minutes. So, it seemed like you guys like it, and it's a really easy video to make, so I'll make more of these from time to time. This week, Warlords released. I've only gotten to get up to like level 91.5. I didn't really play it as... I don't know, I played a lot of it. What I did was I spent like the first, like when it first launched, just farming on my new boosted tune to try to get up my mining and herbalism, because I have absolutely no money on my new realm because it's my only character. And the quickest ways, not the quickest, pretty much the only way to start up from zero is to farm, so I have 2 farming professions. Then after that I can just drop them and get real professions, because you don't make money farming. You make money playing the auction house. It's a lot easier now. The auction house is being combined like crazy. So I was just farming around the Valley of Four Winds on my new Shredder mount, which I was able to buy in my other realm that has all the gold. That Shredder mount's cool. I thought you'd be able to mine on it as well, but it only doesn't dismount you if you're collecting herbs, which is... it's still pretty good, because there's more herbs than there are mining nodes anyway. So anyways, I just went around and mined and herb for like the first hour or 2, and then I went to actual Warlords. The starter quest was pretty cool. They actually had a fun turret quest. It's called a turret, right? Where you like sit down and like shoot bombs at stuff. Like during the quest, you just had to kill like 200 whatevers. And then after, like, at certain checkpoints or at certain times in the quest, it would like update. It's like, oh no, you need to kill this like cannon that's shooting at you now. It's like, oh no, you need to kill these guys who have like these barrels of bombs that are coming towards you. And it kept updating it, and I thought that was pretty cool, with the original goal still being just to kill 200 of them. I like that. That made it actually pretty fun. Usually those turret quests are really boring. You just like sit there and spam the stupid button. But this one actually had you like with a target circle instead of that stupid yellow circle with the line pointing to it. And, oh, hell, the garrisons. Garrisons were awesome. I spent a lot of today just playing with that and like sending out your minions to go do missions for you. It's kind of like those mobile games where you just like wait 30 minutes and then it happens. But there is like a little bit of, I mean, because you get the garrison stuff anyway by just questing, and you just kind of get the followers, but it seemed pretty fun. It's like playing a mobile game where you get stuff that actually affects your character, which is pretty fun, because I don't absolutely hate mobile games. It's just, I don't like the waiting part, but I guess it works in WoW just because you don't really have to pay money for it, and you're just going to do it anyway, and it's kind of like an addition, and it is fun to get your own little men and level them up. I don't know, I like the garrison so far. They're a lot of fun, even though I only have like the bare minimum of it right now, because I keep trying to quest, but there was so much server lag earlier this morning. Like, I would just sit there and then click on something, and then I would just wait for 3 seconds for it to actually appear on screen. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop playing till the server lag is gone, because my computer's already slow enough, and that server lag was just making it ridiculously slow. Even though I did want to play, so I went and just watched a movie with a friend. And then I had to do some videos because I have a YouTube channel to run and my other YouTube channel that I need to make videos for, that I make videos on it every day. Plus I got homework to do tomorrow, since I did put it off for like 2 days so I could play. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get a level 100 character. Probably a while, since my priest had green items. I do love that I'm finally like gearing up, but the starter green items aren't as high of an item level as they were in the past, where usually it was like a significant increase over your heroic gear from the last tier. This one, it seems to be like scaled down a lot. So if you have heroic gear, like my priest on my other server does, it would have been a lot easier, but my boosted priest with green items is, I mean, it's not hard. I'm still doing it pretty easily, but I have died like once or twice, which at certain situations where I wouldn't have died on my super geared priest, but only because I'm so used to out gearing leveling content and just like pulling everything. So I just stopped doing that and I don't die anymore. Plus, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Priest is fun. I'm still leveling it up. I really want to get the level 100 talents where I don't have to use dots and I can just spam Mind Blast. That would be awesome. I mean, spam Mind Spike. That would be cool. Right now I'm just leveling my priest, and that's no fun. Leveling, I've never really enjoyed it. It's real boring. I'm more of the end game. I'd rather just PvP or raid or pet battle. Those are fun. Leveling isn't really all that fun. Okay, enough about warlords. I also got a lot of questions from my last video that I'll answer in more detail in this video. Alright, this first one. I know that you don't make videos just for the money, but I was wondering if the effort you put into making the videos is actually worth it, money-wise. And the answer to that is yes. I can't really go into the specifics of it, but when I first started out, it wasn't really worth it money-wise, because obviously when you have no views, you're not making any money. But over the past couple months, I've been making enough to pay the bills and then some. Before, I was just living off of student grants and freelance work online. And as long as I kept my expenses to a bare minimum, I was able to get by, but now I don't have to do any of that anymore. YouTube pays for everything, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to change anything because I was already just, doing YouTube videos, homework, and my free time, whenever I just played around. And now that I make all my money for rent through YouTube, I pretty much do the exact same thing. I just don't take big freelance orders anymore. I still take small ones though, because I have like dedicated customers that I don't want to just like, hey, I don't need your money anymore, so don't talk to me. That's not cool. They ask for really easy stuff, and it's hard enough to find people online who you can trust and who actually know what you're doing. So I just still do the easy video editing stuff for them every once in a while. Next one. Can we see your face? Do a face cam in a video. No. Probably never going to do that. Not because I don't think I'm, bad looking or anything. I like to think I'm pretty good looking. But the thing is, I remember there was this one YouTuber I used to watch. I liked his videos. I thought they were pretty cool. I honestly just really love the sound of his voice. I am a huge sucker for people's voices. Like, if they have a cool sounding voice, I'll watch their stuff even if I don't really care what they're actually doing, just because I like their voice. I really love like weird accents or like deep voice. I don't know. I like cool voices. And there was this one guy who had a really cool voice. I was like, okay, that's cool. He's probably a pretty cool guy. I used to watch almost all his videos because I didn't really care for what he was putting out, but I liked his voice and I just put it on the background anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then he did a face cam video once where he pretty much just talked to the camera for like half an hour about something. I was like, oh, that's what he looks like. He doesn't look anything like I thought he would. Not at all. In fact, he's kind of unhomely. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter what he looks like. He still has the same voice. And then when I started watching his videos later on, all I could think about was what he looked like when he was talking. And then I actually started focusing on his content, and I was like, I mean, his stuff's not half bad, but I just don't really care anymore. Because all I can think about is how his voice is a lie. His voice put this image in my head of someone grander than he was. And then I was disappointed, and I eventually just unsubscribed from him. But, yeah, voices do matter to me. And the image that you build up in your head is usually better than what actually happens. And because of that instance, my own personal experience, I'm not gonna ever do a face cam or put my photo out. I'm pretty sure I don't think it'll ever leak, because that'd be weird if it did. So, you guys can go ahead and just use your imagination to picture whatever I look like, because I'm never going to show you, based on what my voice sounds like. I don't have the best voice in the world, but it's sufficient. I really wish I had like one of those movie announcer voices. That would be awesome. There's so many videos I could do if I had I actually am making a video right now where I just use my voice changer to kind of simulate a movie announcer voice. I was actually considering just like paying someone on Fiverr to read a couple lines for my next video. But I think I got something figured out with my voice changer. It kind of sounds like a commercial voice, but it's not the movie announcer voice like, ooh, coming this summer. Action, romance. Yeah, I can't do that. It would be awesome if I could, though. Okay, next one. What are your favorite YouTube channels? And which other WoW channels do you watch other than Hazelnutty Games? What are my favorite YouTube channels? I actually watch a lot. I was a huge... Actually, I still am. I love watching other people's stuff on YouTube. I have for a long time. I've been a YouTuber since like 2006. I used to make videos back in 2, and then my account got... Actually, that's just a whole nother story that I've told before many times. But basically, I've been watching a lot of people. My favorite people... my favorite people. I don't know. I'm subscribed to a lot of people, and there's only a few people where I actually like watch all of their videos. I need to go into like my subscriptions or something. Total Biscuit for sure. I love his voice, and the way he looks doesn't detract from it at all. In fact, it just kind of enhances it. Probably because I already knew what he looked like. If I don't know what he looks like right away, and I've already heard his voice a long time, I'm gonna make up something in my head. And the way he actually looks didn't really bother me at all. Same thing with Jesse Cox. I love Jesse Cox. I love him a little too much. I'm not gay or anything, but I would be gay for him. And then we have Wow Krendor. I like that dude too. He's pretty cool. Did you know gaming? That's pretty cool, I guess. Douchebag Chocolate. That dude's funny. I pretty much copied his trailer for mine. JonTron. Oh, I fucking love JonTron. JonTron's the best. I've watched like every single video he has, and I've watched a couple of his other ones over. And I kind of like copy his editing style for a few... kind of, not really. He puts way more effort into his editing than I do. I aspire to edit as well as he does. Let's see... What else is there on here? Not too many people. Other WoW people. Oh yeah, Noble87, that dude. Oh, Noble87, I love this guy. I love his voice so much. He has like the best voice in the world, and he goes over lore like crazy. No, he's just great. I love his stuff. Plus, I love his voice, so that just makes it even better. I watch all of his lore videos. That's about it. I don't think I watch anything else. Actually, I watch his Q&As too, just because I like to hear about the YouTubers and how their personal lives are. Because I like people. I like to know about people. I think everyone has a story. Everyone has something interesting about them. Nora Sunstrider, she makes some... I just recently subscribed to her. A couple of her videos are pretty cool. I haven't watched all of them yet, though. Then we've got Press Heart to Continue. Some of her stuff's pretty cool. Team 4-Star, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, Purple Eyes, WTF. Oh yeah, those are awesome as well. And I think that's it for the people I watch the most, and other WoW YouTubers that I watch. Yeah, I'm subscribed to some other WoW YouTubers, and not because I particularly enjoy their videos, but more of just to get like video ideas and to see stuff that I don't want to copy from them. Because there's like this theory in psychology, oh, your movie sucks, that dude is the best. He's at the like complete bottom because it's a Y. He has the best reviews I've ever seen. So much effort and detail. He nitpicks the crap out of everything, and it's hilarious. Go watch his Walking Dead reviews. Those are the best. What was I talking about? Something about the... Oh yeah, the other WoW people. Yeah, I only watch a couple of them regularly. The other ones I don't really care for. There aren't really too many good WoW YouTubers out there. I mean, there's some popular ones out there, but I don't watch them because I don't think their stuff's... It's not targeted towards me. It's probably fine to other people, but I personally don't like it. Okay, I think that's it for that. I probably will edit together, so it doesn't seem like I'm just looking at my subscriptions like I actually did. Okay, let's see. Next one. Alright, so I had a couple of other questions written down, but after like reading over them, I remembered that I had already answered them in like another video or something. So instead of answering the same question again, what I did was I have this like list of questions that, I don't know, I found it on Tumblr. This dude had like 40 questions, and I just like took out a section of it. I'm just gonna go over them and try to answer their try to answer them all pretty quickly. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Damn, that's a lot. And there's a whole bunch of them are like double questions, like what's your best birthday, what's your worst birthday, etc. like that. So, first one. Talk about the thing you regret most so far. The thing I regret most so far is not starting my YouTube channel earlier than I did. Because I started YouTube, like I made my very first video back in like 2007 or 6. Long time ago. With my old channel, which was just hirumaredx. That got taken down because of one of the... what I would do is I would take manga like Yugioh 21 when it was still like current. And I would just crop out the photos and put them together in a video. That way you could pretty much just watch the video like you were reading the manga. Because getting manga back then was a little bit harder than it is today. Now you can just go anywhere and you find it real easily. So I've just put it into a video, and those were pretty popular on YouTube. And it would drive tons of viewers to my channel. Even though it was technically just like straight up copyright infringement. Which is why my channel got taken down. What it would do is... I also had like this link to this one site where, you know, those like referral sites where if you refer a bunch of people and they like do those stupid offers on the sites, you get money. And I had like a video like that on my site, and the channel got popular enough from the Yugioh 21 manga videos that people would actually sign up under that link, and I made quite a bit of money back then in high school before I had a job. So that was pretty cool, making money off of YouTube before ad revenue was a thing. And then my account got banned for very legit reasons. I was not surprised. And then I just made a new one, named it hirumaredx, because I wanted to keep the name, and that's the one I use today. So the only thing I regret is not making the channel earlier, because I like to live with the notion of not having any regrets when I die. And I don't. I was in this situation about a year ago where I thought I might... There was a very good chance I could have died, and I was okay with it. I was like, well, I've done everything I wanted to. There isn't really anything I did not say. I'm pretty impulsive, and I'm not afraid to do stuff. And I pretty much lived my life I've wanted to. I played lots of WoW. That was fun. Enjoy time is not wasted time. So if anyone's ever saying, well, you're wasting your life on that game, you say, no, you mean I'm enjoying life. It's only wasted time if you don't like doing it. That's why people waste their lives on a boring job they don't like, only to regret on their deathbed that, no, the one regret I had was working too hard and not spending enough time to enjoy myself. That is the number one regret of people dying. And that's a regret I don't have. Next one. Actually, that was kind of dark. I really shouldn't have talked about that. I don't want this to be a dark segment where I talk about crap like that. No one wants to hear that. Talk about your best birthday you've had. The best birthday I've had, well, I was super poor growing up, and my mom was a drug addict. I don't know how she was able to throw us parties, actually. We barely even had food to eat on regular days, and yet she would always throw us a huge-ass party with, like, those jumping trampolines and cake and get us all these presents. Now that I think about it, that is kind of weird. I wonder how she got the money for that. I don't know. I had a couple of really good birthdays when I was little. It's probably the one where I got a whole bunch of Pokemon cards. That was awesome. That was like back in the Pokemon craze. And I got like a shit ton of Pokemon decks and like packs, and it was like the greatest thing ever. And then I lost all my Pokemon cards when we lost that house. I've lost all my possessions a couple of times in my life from having to move around all the place. That's what happens when you have drug addict parents. Talk about the worst birthday you've had. The worst birthday I've had, probably when I was, I don't know. All of them are pretty fine. I like the ones when I was like 17, 18, or 19, when I was going through that phase where I just wanted to be left alone because I was so done with high school and hanging out with people. I just had birthdays to myself where I didn't even have the family over, and those were great. I just played WoW or some other game. I don't think those are bad, but they're probably not as good as my other ones, because I did enjoy myself not having to hang out with my family. Even though they're not that bad, it's just, I don't really have anything in common with any of them. Talk about your biggest insecurity. These are all pretty negative, actually. I should have read over these. I don't know. I'm a very confident person. Like, ridiculously so. I can't see faults in myself, so it's kind of hard for me to see if my videos I'm putting out are good or not, because I think everything I do is great, so I have to, like, go over it with a fine surgeon's needle just to see, it's like, is this really good objectively speaking? Because I think it's good, because I thought of it. Like, even when I was going through, like, a bout of depression, like, that's one of the reasons I started my channel again, was to keep myself busy, because I had just gotten fired from my job, and there was some stuff going on. I was like, I'm going to get depressed again if this keeps going on, because there's just a bunch of bad stuff happening. So I was like, well, instead of falling back into the depression, I'm just going to keep myself occupied with things that I've always wanted to do. So I did a whole bunch of stuff that I'd been putting off, even though I didn't really have the money to do it, and it really helped. Starting up the YouTube channel was one of the things. I'm really glad I did that. And my biggest insecurity, I don't think I really have one, because even when I was depressed, I didn't blame myself for anything. I just thought I was the awesomest person, and it was everyone else's fault, because I'm pretty sure I'm a narcissist or something. I'm too into myself. Talk about the thing you are most proud of. Probably, what was it? It was back in, like, 10th grade when we were playing football. We had, like, that terrible freshman team, but I was, without a doubt, the best player on the team. And there was this one practice where the coach was chewing everyone out. It's like, you guys are the worst. You guys all suck so bad. And blah, blah, blah. That's what they usually do in football. Even when I played at an actual good school a couple years later, they would still give out that speech every once in a while. That's just football culture. Well, he was giving this huge speech about how everyone was terrible. He's like, oh, wait, except for you, hirumaredx, you're good. As long as you hit the weight rooms, you're going to do great in high school. And then he went back to just yelling at everyone about how terrible they were. I was like, I knew I was pretty good, but that kind of just confirms it. If the coach stops his rant to tell, oh, except for you, you're good, everyone else is bad, what I'm talking about doesn't apply to you. That's probably the only thing. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff I'm proud of, because I'm like a huge narcissist who's in love with himself, but that's probably the one that sticks out the most. Talk about little things on your body that you like the most. Oh, that's weird. I'm not going to talk about that. Talk about the biggest fight you've ever had. When I was little, I used to get in fights all the time. I think I lost one, but I usually won most of them, because I wouldn't pick fights that I couldn't win. I was a little bit smart about it, and if there was one I couldn't win, I would just get someone to help me, because that's what you do. If you can't beat them, just get more people until you can. Like, when I was in 3rd grade, because I've never actually been bullied, like, ever. I used to move to a different school every single year, and I just learned how to make new friends. I was never bullied, except this one time this kid tried to. When I was in 3rd grade, there was this really big fat kid, like, really big for his age. There's always that one kid in class who's taller than everyone else, and this was him. He's also really fat too, and he sat right in front of me, because we had, like, our desks pushed together. And this stupid kid would, like, write on my paper with his pencil, just make marks on it, just being annoying, and he would steal my pencils and, like, laugh when I tried to get it back. And this went on for, like, a day. Like, he tried doing this, like, all afternoon. I was like, oh my god. And I would just, fight back. I would scribble back on his paper, do little stupid 3rd grade stuff, like, steal his pencils right back. I wasn't putting up with this crap, but he kept doing it for, like, a day or two. So I got a friend from a different class of mine, because I knew I couldn't beat him up myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do something, or else this kid's not going to stop. So I grabbed a friend that I had from 2nd grade, and he was sitting by himself under a tree, and we just jumped him. We both, I don't know, it was like a little kid fight, but we definitely won, because it was 2-on-1, and he didn't actually know how to fight. Turns out he was just big, and he was all talk and no bark. No, what is it? All bark and no bite? Yeah, that's it. And then the very next day after that happened, he was super nice to me. He tried to be, like, best friends with me. He's like, oh, hey, hirumaredx, you're the greatest. He goes, here. He goes, you want my pencil? I have an extra one. You can borrow it if you want. And I don't know, he just tried to be really nice to me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Not after what you tried to do. But I thought that was pretty funny. That's probably it's not the biggest fight I've ever been in, but it is one that I remember the most because I just had to grab a friend with me because I knew I couldn't take him down by myself. Although I could have, because he, like I said, didn't really know what he was doing. And I used a rambunctious little kid who used to get in fights all the time. Talk about the biggest fight you've ever had. Talk about your best dream you've ever had. The best dream, probably the one where I flew, like the first time. Very first time I flew in a dream, I did like put my hands into a triangle and focus really hard on the triangle, and I was able to like float. And it felt like I was actually flying. It was the coolest thing ever. And I kept trying to recreate it in my dream, and I was only able to do it whenever I concentrated really hard on making that triangle with my hands. Then I was able to fly, and that was awesome. And the worst dream I ever had was the one where I was being chased by Cell from Dragon Ball Z. That shit was scary. If you don't know who Cell is, he was like this guy who would go around and like kill entire cities by just absorbing them with his tail. And there were some episodes where he would just run around after people because he had the power to like destroy a country in like a second. So this dude was super strong, and he was just playing with people because he knew no military could take him down. And he would just walk, like some of the episodes would just show him hunting down people and playing with them before he finally killed them and like absorbed their bodies. And that gave me nightmares about it, and it was awesome. I mean, it's the worst dream I've ever had. I've had nightmares before, but that was like the one where it was like, oh my god, he's chasing me around. It was so scary. Yeah, that one was pretty cool, actually. I mean, not at the time, but thinking back on it, that's pretty cool. Alright, and that's it. I've talked enough about all this. Questions I put on here were a little bit more negative than I wanted. I'm not a negative person, so I'm gonna have to. I'll either edit that out and you'll never hear it, or if you're hearing this part, that means I decided to leave it in, and I'll just do a little bit more reading through the questions I look over and not try to put anything like that in again. So if you have any questions for my next one, which I probably won't do for like another couple weeks, I don't want to make this a weekly thing, even though that would be real easy to do. All I do is talk about myself. I'm not going to, because I'd rather just use that time on making an actual video. So yeah, if you have a question, just leave it in the comments and I might answer it.